50 movies in 50 weeks. I'm your host, Joey Hollywood, and I'm trying to get through all 50 movies in this Mill Creek box set in 50 weeks. The movie I watched today was called The Attack of the Giant Leeches from 1959. Now, this is a movie that I think anyone who grew up with those dollar store DVDs has seen before. It's a classic in many ways because of just how easily available it is. This movie and another one that also has like leech people in it, but that movie has like a fog element. Those two were always like side by side on every like dollar store DVD. And because of that, I kind of get those two movies confused, because when I saw Attack of the Giant Leeches, I was like, oh, that's the movie with the fog. But it's, in fact, the other one. And actually, I think I prefer this one over the other one. It's been many years. I can't even remember what that movie's called. I do know that Mystery Science Theater has covered both of these films, though. And, it's actually funny. I recently watched this movie, I want to say maybe a year ago. It was on Mr. Lobo. And for those of you who don't know what that is, I feel it's very niche. I know I was talking about Mystery Science Theater, but I think Mr. Lobo is more niche than that. Mr. Lobo is kind of like a horror host, like Elvira, but he's got his own shtick, and I think he's actually fantastic. I think he's one of the best horror hosts. But he advertised, the whole reason why I watched it, he's like, oh, this is a new version of the movie that no one's ever seen before. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool. I should check that out. And guess what he did? He just tinted the movie green. So instead of being in black and white, it was in black and green. One thing you can say about this movie as a positive is that it starts off very, very quickly. And with these kind of movies, that's kind of a blessing, because sometimes these movies, they'll just go on, and then there'll be like 2 minutes of like monster stuff, and then the movie's over. This movie, it comes out of the gate with what it is, and it's I don't want to say it's refreshing. I feel like we've been treated pretty good with the movies that have been on this box set so far. I'm just happy that this is that kind of movie, that it's just fun. Movie starts off really fast with some lake people fighting a giant leech, and then we're just dropped right into the credits, which even the credits are in this movie are kind of fun. They're just with the way they did the text and stuff, the beats matching the text appearing on screen. It's fun. I don't know what to say besides that. I will say, though, that this particular version of the movie that comes on this box set, it's not an anamorphic widescreen. And for those of you who don't know, so the black bars on the side is what we consider full screen. Black bars on the top and bottom, or the screen being filled, is typically regarded as widescreen. This movie has black bars on the sides and on the top and bottom, so it's basically a shrunken picture, it looks like, but the void on the side, there's actually nothing there, but the black bars on the top and the bottom are burned into the picture. So the whole movie, I was watching like basically a postage stamp. I considered zooming in just so it'd be like an easier watch. But part of this little series, even though this is not the most extravagant series in the world, I'm not doing a whole lot of editing, I want to give an honest opinion on what it is watching this box set. Otherwise, like when I get to, I think Metropolis is on here, I have a beautiful Blu-ray of Metropolis. And I could watch that, but I'm going to watch the version on here. So I want to give you guys an honest opinion of this box set, and not just the movie. And in that regard, the movie kind of sucked because it was so small on my screen. But that's dedication to the bit. I've been doing this for over 2 years now, and I want to make sure that I don't lose sight of my goal with this series, despite the fact that it is such a silly goal. Honestly, this feels like it could have been a pretty good Sci-Fi Channel movie. There's so many colorful characters in here, I can easily see it being like a one-to-one adaptation on the Sci-Fi Channel and it being just as fun. There's like a lot of interesting, like, I don't want to call it world building, but it's setting up like the eeriness around things, just little bits of dialogue here and there, like, oh yeah, there should be like 100 big gators here and maybe like 1,000 smaller ones, and we haven't seen a single gator, like stuff like that, like those lines, like, ooh, that's kind of creepy. And then you see the leech people, and they're very silly looking. They look like they're made out of carpet. There's also a really like kind of creepy part in the movie where they drop a bomb or not a bomb, some dynamite into the water, and they think they're gonna kill some of the leeches, but instead all the bodies rise to the surface that the leeches had been, like, you know, sucking the blood out of. There's a lot of like really creepy moments like that I feel like in a more artistful, if that's a word, artistful film could have been very effective. But here, I would say this movie is just fun from beginning to end. It is a dumb little horror movie from, you know, what was it, the 50s, the 60s? Oh, kind of in between, 1959, so almost the 60s. And I just have a blast with it. It's just the kind of dumb fun, the kind of thing you throw on, and I usually throw movies like this on when I'm drawing, something I don't really have to pay attention to, and it's like kind of amusing. And yeah, I've fun with this one. Do I recommend it? Your mileage may vary with this kind of stuff. If you don't like this movie, definitely check out like Riff Tracks, or if you have a higher tolerance for bad movies, maybe Mr. Lobo. This movie is fun on its own. It's fun with Riff Tracks. I definitely recommend the Riff Tracks, Mystery Science Theater. Riff Tracks probably did one on this too, just knowing them. But yeah, you know, I think that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to do more than just these little vlogs on the channel. There's just so much going on in my life, but I'm trying to go organize it so we can have more than just me vlogging. And, you know, wish me luck with that. And without further ado, I will bid you farewell. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember, please be kind and rewind.